What am I saying? For those that have followed for a while, you know that I have been Fix Plus obsessed since the dawn of time. If you're new here, hi, my name is Miss Megan, and today I'm going to take you through everything that you probably want to know about Fix Plus and what the differences are between them. This video isn't sponsored. this is my favorite product in the whole world, and I really just need people to know and to get it right. If you didn't already know, I have a discount code with MAC until July, Miss Megan 15 on the MAC Cosmetics Canada website. Make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss a post. And if you want to see what the big deal is about Fix Plus, please keep on watching. Fix Plus is quite literally my #1 ride or die makeup product of all time, specifically Fix Plus Original. I would die without it. And I'm not even exaggerating. Like, Fix Plus is my #1. I have to have Fix Plus at all times. I have to have backups. This has to be used on every makeup that I do. Layering and Fix Plus is the sole reason my makeup is the way it is and why it lasts and wears how it does. You have to remember that once upon a time, this was the only thing that existed, and it had the name Fix Plus. I feel like as the industry grows and names start to mean certain things like setting versus fixing, I just want you to forget that this is even called Fix Plus. I want you to forget the term setting and fixing. When you're shopping for yourself, read the description of what the product is supposed to do. It says before, during, after, or if it says like just at the end to finish. All those other words can be like a little bit difficult sometimes. Even I get confused with them. My understanding of it is fixing is the very last step. So once upon a time, this is all that existed. So that's kind of where it happened. Setting sprays to me fall under the like hydrating sprays. It gets really, really complicated, but I'll just break this down for you because I love this. Fix Plus Original: glycerin, green tea, cucumber, chamomile, caffeine. Hydrating, soothing, anti-irritant with the caffeine. Glycerin is a humectant. It means it pulls moisture from the air. So as you're spraying this throughout your routine and you're wearing it, it's keeping everything hydrated, soft, sexy. This is the paper mache of the makeup world when you are layering your makeup. And that doesn't mean psychotic layers like I do. It quite literally means between your foundation or your concealer, between your blush and your highlighter, between your wet products and your dry products. This is going to help make product that is being applied like this and make them sit as one. You can use as much of or as little of this as you want to. There's no right answer. See, they call it a finishing mist. I feel like we could update the name. This will fix any mistakes. So this takes away powder finish on the skin, helps melt everything in. I said this in another video. Melt is not a bad word. It just means that things are sitting a lot smoother and they're becoming one. Love it, lock it in. You love what you just did, but you still want to work on it, spray it, lock it in, and then keep continuing. That's why I use so many. There's a really old video on this channel called the Best Friend Box. My best friends did my routine on their face. It was 52 sprays of Fix Plus. You don't have to be that way. It was just specific to the routine that I do. I don't use that much anymore because of the skincare that I'm using now, the foundation formulas. Like, look at this skin. This is Strobe Dewy Skin Tint and Studio Fix Fluid. I can't. So this is like a makeup manipulator. I brought this out because the Disney collection relaunched, or parts of the Disney collection relaunched. This is an original. She Who Dares. Don't even know if it's in the relaunch or not. But one of my favorite things to do with Fix Plus is you can alter your powdered shadows. If you want to do things normally, you could just spray a brush and then kind of go in. I do not. I am the queen of making a paste. I like to spray directly into the pan. Depending on the formula, you can make really, really thick paste. You can make things into liner. Yes, if you add water to this, close this, you could run into issues because now you're introducing liquid in an environment that could breed bacteria. Just be careful. I've never run into an issue. I'm only soaking like a tiny little area versus a dry swatch where you lose some of that like intensity. So that's why I like to make a paste. I will forever make a paste. Not all shadow formulas can have liquid reintroduced into them, but things like the Extra Dimension eyeshadows, baked eyeshadows, they usually have liquid in the process of making them that gets vacuumed out. Extra Dimension eyeshadows. So when you reintroduce liquid back in, it's fine. When you're working with powder, when you dry swatch powder on the skin, it can look like flat and chunky and you don't get as smooth of a color match. Like that could be your color, but when you look at it on your hand, it's just not sitting properly. It's dry, it's chalky. Even if you're not going to use Fix Plus to get an idea of what the color would actually look like, that's where you can spray. And the thing is you just need to let it sit. Don't touch anything. People love to touch their makeup way too quickly. I'm gonna put a dry swatch beside it. I'm obsessed with how my skin looks. I feel like I got my lighting down really well too. So that's the same powder with Fix Plus sprayed versus, it's a very textured part of my hand, versus not. I feel like that's not the best. I'm gonna do it on this side actually. You can see that the powder sits like more on the surface, where this has now, where is it? This has now married into the skin a little bit more. So that's how it takes away texture on the skin. This will give a much more dewier, hydrated look to the skin. So this is gonna add glow. This one here, Fix Plus Matte, I literally don't use this because it's so matte on me. There's a powder that's inside of this. This is for anybody that wants that same aspect of Fix Plus with a matte finish. You wouldn't layer as much with this. I would only use this like once or twice, but this you could use forever. This will leave like a powdery look on the skin. When I've worn this, I look so matte and it's so not for me. Yeah, I can kind of feel it on my hand. Think like soft matte. The way that I would use this one, the Miss Megan way, would be as like a touch-up powder instead of using actual powder. Because sometimes, especially if you get sweaty, touching up makeup on sweaty skin can be a challenge. Fix Plus Matte will just kind of like add a really soft layer of powder onto it it's still a Fix Plus base, so I'm still gonna get a little bit of that flexibility in my makeup, but I generally don't use this one because it's just not for me. Fix Plus Magic Radiance. If you remember softening lotion and that prep step, this is basically the new softening lotion. So this is Fix Plus Magic Radiance. This you spray first. Now I have done it at the end and I'll explain why after. Fix Plus Base Vitamin C Essential Oil. If you're extremely dry and you wear powder, you could do this powder and then this again. One day I put way too much Fix powder on. Like, I don't know what I was doing when I was getting ready. So then I ended up spraying this to soak in because I wanted the oil to be back into the skin because I like that juicy plumpness to my skin. Not just hydration from this. I actually wanted to change what the texture looked like. So this is basically like a spray moisturizer. And if you've been around for a while, you know the wet sponge theory. So if you had a spill and you took a dry sponge and you tried to wipe up that spill, it just sort of pushes it around. It doesn't super absorb it well. But if you wet the sponge first and then you go in to pick up or wipe up that spill, it absorbs a lot better because the sponge has been primed. So that's kind of the concept of this. Put this first before your moisturizer. And especially if you're lazy at night, if I'm like, I'm not doing anything, I'm taking my makeup off, I'll still spray this without doing a skincare routine. Shake very well before use to allow the essential oils to be evenly emulsified and distributed. This is a must-have for me, first step on myself and everybody I use. Even oily skin, because oil loves oil. Introducing this is gonna help balance the skin. You're adding that moisture back in so that it doesn't overcompensate while the makeup is being applied. And then in terms of priming a brush, we need to actually talk about that for a second. With foundation, you could scoop up your foundation, and a lot of people don't evenly distribute it onto their brush to begin with. And it's kind of the same thing as the sponge theory, but you can just give your brush a quick little spray. Because think about the concept of Fix Plus and melting your layers together, it's going to help marry the foundation to the skin, the foundation to the brush. You want your brushes to absorb a little bit of the product because it's what helps distribute it over the face. So when you're talking to a makeup artist, they are talking to you about product through application technique. Really good makeup artist understands how you see things and then translates what they know back to you, like through your eyes. If you were talking to me, I need to understand how you see color, how you see texture, what your idea of makeup is, how you do your makeup, so that I can take my information and filter it to make you understand it versus me just shooting things at you. So when I come with all of these techniques, it's because I have 12 plus years of talking to individuals about multiple makeup concerns, multiple makeup issues, multiple skin tones, multiple skin problems, multiple skin types. So actually when you have so much information and you get asked certain questions, you can kind of like almost compartmentalize different types of responses based on how the question is asked. When a makeup artist tells you, yeah, if you want your foundation to look really smooth, it's going to range person to person, but like a brush will apply it better, and adding Fix Plus through your layers is going to help it. You mentioned you were a little bit oily and you have pores, so this is where you would use the pore filling primer, whatever the case may be. It's because it's coming from an artistic background with actual answers that can fulfill the makeup needs that you're looking for. If your makeup content that you're consuming is more on the side of like, this is the best thing ever, you need to have this, this is good on everybody, this is good on everybody is A, the biggest lie. And B, it's just not true. Everybody's needs are different, so there's no way that one thing can be good for everybody. There can be general things where you're like, there's so many multiple ways to use this. There's so many ways to use Fix Plus. Generally speaking, yeah, this will go over with a lot of people, but if someone's like, no, I want to be the most matte ever, I want not 1 ounce of shine, I only want to use powder, they do not want liquid, they don't want primer, like even though that product's great and ultimately would make their makeup look even better, it's not for them. And you're not going to know these things. I'm getting off on a tangent here, but you're not going to know these things unless you invest in your own technique and your own style and discovering what you're really good at, what you need help with. And if you struggle, that's where you meet with a makeup artist, because your answer is not at the bottom of a product. And what's best for me might not be best for you. But I just want you guys to have the right information about this. So yeah, this started with priming your brush. So priming your brush is just gonna allow for better, even application of your product. Not 100% necessary, you might not wanna do it, but it's just another way that you can use it. Fix Plus Stay Over. This is the final boss. This is the final Love It, Lock It In. Fix Plus Base, but with PVP. PVP is what creates that kind of like seal on the skin. It can be known as like a dehumidifier, like kind of protecting from the environment around it. Seal on the face, protecting the environment around it so that it can't ruin your makeup. So this you're only spraying at the end, and I wouldn't mix this into anything. I wouldn't prep a brush with it, nothing. This is just that final seal. And the nice thing about this one is it's alcohol free. So a lot of final step sprays to seal in your makeup are alcohol based, because that PVP, that seal that is needed, it needs the alcohol to be able to spray it. That's why I've also mentioned too, like a lot of foundation concerns can be found in the skin prep, skin realm. So if your skin, for example, if your skin can't handle alcohol or the dryness that could come from using alcohol, it's going to be different for everybody. That's where your skin can start reacting and then make your makeup sit in a weird way. So it's not the foundation. You might have the best foundation in the world, but every element of makeup matters, which is why you have to understand the product you're using or how you're using it in your routine to be able to pinpoint what might be going wrong. I've used Fix Plus Original religiously. Bronze Light was my favorite, and the Pony Park one, but I've used it forever. I would say the success of my makeup routine is because of Fix Plus. 1000%, because of the way that I layer things and use Fix Plus as my like tool or mixing medium to make it perform better. Fix Plus is my everything. And then Stay Over. So the biggest difference that I had with Stay Over, because again, I never had issues with longevity when I did my routine with Fix Plus, but I noticed with Stay Over, my blush wasn't fading as much. So for me, I'm getting extra longevity, and then my colors are staying more true throughout the day. For me, in order for a product to be successful, it has to make it through the gym or like a festival or a show, but mainly it's the gym. And the routines that you see, every single one that you've ever seen of me on the internet, is a gym-proof makeup routine. Transfer-proof makeup does not matter to me. I can definitely like touch my face. I can feel, yeah, a little bit of shine there. I can feel where I have like, you know, a little bit more glossiness on my skin. I can still touch my face and things stay in place, but products can still transfer. Stay Over's like main properties are long wear and fade proof before it is transfer proof. So you can still get that transfer proof aspect, but not as intense as if there was another spray where the transfer proof part was its main priority. It can help protect from blue light too, but I've actually never taught myself fine details about that. So It's in the vitamin E. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss a post. Let me know what your favorite Fix Plus is, and I hope that you learned something about how to properly use Fix Plus and what it is for. My virtual and freelance makeup lessons and makeup services are now open. You can email me at bookmissmegan@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow me on TikTok and Instagram, all under the same name. And until then, I'll see you next time. Bye.